three stages to this game. You play, you compete, and lethal.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
All day. Looking deep for Hollywood Brown again. He's got it. Brown off to the races. And he stays on his feet. Touchdown!
For overtime. Packers clock is blocked. It's picked up by the Titans. This game is over. Second down in the air and picked off by Brad. Will he get it here? Yes!
Welcome back to episode 5 of the three-man draft. It's been a while actually. We've been over 2 weeks now since we were last about, but we're here to bring you some more latest news in the NFL world. There's not loads going on other than the draft.
And we're about a week behind everyone else.
Yeah, we are literally behind.
we're not latest news, but we're thereabouts.
We're that professional. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm back here with the boys, Reece and George, and then myself. I'm not going to big myself up because I can't do that. But yeah, we'll go straight in with some news. We've missed a few little bits. I think the latest one at the moment is Julio Jones, which is actually really funny because it's Reece's favourite.
My guy.
Ever wide receiver.
No, I just said he's the best there is at the moment.
Yeah, and now the Falcons are dangling the carrot trying to get rid of him.
Speaks volumes.
Speaks volumes of our knowledge.
Must be class.
Yeah, must be a great player. Yeah, which is quite a shot. I don't know why they do it now though.
Yeah.
It's strange
It
time.
makes us think, are they going to try and draft for a wide receiver?
Yeah,
or
but surely, right, now, I know he's these demons, but surely you'd want to keep someone. Like if you're going to draft a wide receiver,
yeah, I agree.
and let him learn.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know how much he's going to... I don't know, I've literally no idea. I mean, this is how well prepared I am. I actually have no idea what his contract situation is or what. I've just seen the headlines, really, that they're trying to trade him. But, like, I just don't know why teams would do that now when they were, like, days away from the draft. Why would you suddenly go, yeah, we're going to commit to this
Well, I suppose it's one
Are
of
they
those,
just trying to dangle the carrot to see if someone gets a bite? And then...
I suppose it's one of those, if you do go for him and take a punt on him, that he's not terrible, is he? Like, he will get TDs.
He's one of the best there is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, in a sense, you are taking a bit of a punt. Obviously, the age and stuff, and depends on how much the Falcons would want and what they would want. But like I say, in regards to wide receiver, he's not by any means the worst out there, and he will turn up and probably perform.
Yeah, he is a good player, and he's done it before. But he's been a bit quiet over the last sort of probably 1 or 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the usual links to, funny enough, the Baltimore Ravens because we don't have the strongest wide receiver front, but I can't see that happening, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere until after the draft, if he is going to go anywhere. But like you were saying, you just keep him, surely. You just I don't know. So I haven't really. I just something that I saw in the car yesterday, or it might have even been today. So yeah, there you go. Reece's favourite all-time best wide receiver being.
Man's like Julio.
Being bussed out of Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Watch him have a killer year this year.
Exactly.
You
wait, right? This a year's time when I'm there saying, you were slagging Julio Jones off there.
Good old Julio Jones.
Put some respect on the man's name.
Another thing I got noted down with the trade. I'm not just saying this because it's the Ravens, but it was just one of the big ones with the Kansas City Chiefs. Orlando Brown Jr. Offensive tackle from the Ravens going to Kansas City, and then I believe we get a 31st pick this year, and then we get 3 picks from this year, I think it was, which is mad. But that, to me, that just shows how much Kansas City wants to protect their little golden child.
You would want it, wouldn't you?
You would. Just look at the Super Bowl again. He spent most of the time running around and getting chased. I think that was the best incompletion highlight reel you could ever watch. Is that of him throwing these incompletions that are amazing.
It's funny because if he was like a draft prospect, and if you wanted to pick any film for scouts to watch, you wouldn't even be necessarily that bothered if you were like, oh yeah, just watch this. It wasn't the best because obviously my wide receivers and tight ends let me down, but it's a highlight reel for me. Putting defenders on their arse, running around, but 50% fit.
Throwing a ball when you're pretty much flat on the floor.
Crazy.
So yeah, they've got him now. Big Orlando Bloom, which I'm actually generally gutted about, really. But and there's more picks the better for us. Not sure anyone's got anything to say on that one, really.
No.
Not really. Retirement, Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Former number 1 pick.
It was indeed. What a career that man has had. Comeback player of the year last year, wasn't he?
Roller coaster of a career.
Yeah.
Huge ups and huge downs.
Been through a lot, that bloke.
Crazy.
For what player he was.
I think as we said before, like this year last year when he come back, that first game everyone was just wasn't even so much a Washington fan. It was everyone just wanted to see Alex Smith do well.
Yeah, of course. He's a likeable character, and like you say, for your first year back after what was it, 2 years out?
Something like that, yeah.
Something crazy like that. To then lead your team to the postseason.
I have to watch Dwayne Haskins lead your team.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's probably kicking himself on the side. But then to lead your team to the division was like rubbish, but to lead your team to a postseason in your first, and your comeback year was fair play.
Yeah, what a career Alex Smith has had. So fair play to him. I generally didn't. I didn't think I kind of saw this coming, really. I didn't really see him coming back properly after he got cut. I don't think he got cut. I think it was just a case of him saying, I did what I needed to do.
I think it was for himself more than anything.
It was just I need to be back on the field, know that I can do it, and then call it a day and spend.
You're probably going
time
to
with
coaching.
Yeah, and it's almost like he gets to end his career on his terms.
Yeah,
he gets to turn around and say, "Well, I'm finished now," rather than
we'll see him on the sidelines.
Of course,
100%.
Yeah.
Something that happened, I think it was last week now, was the 17-game season.
Yep.
Good news, makes it more exciting for us because I always find the NFL season so short. For us anyway, across the pond, we feel like
our season was on for 9 months, isn't it?
Yeah, when our football finishes, and then we're basically crying for football's finished, and then but really it's only like 2 and a bit months, 3 months, and it's like we're back.
6 weeks of no action.
Yeah,
pre-season starts, and then
when I think about it, we probably are really spoiled. We don't realise it.
This year we've got the Euros, so it's not even going to be about football, really, are we? So
probably got 3 weeks if that.
Yeah.
It's always the year after, isn't it? The year after international tournament, like Euros or World Cup. We go, we've got no summer football.
This is the good luck this year because it's been put back a year because of COVID. We've got Euros this year, World Cup next year.
This is true.
Euros and Olympics this year.
Olympics I'm not too worried about.
No, they're always good to watch. Euros and Olympics pushed back from last year.
It's just a bit boring, isn't
it? Yeah.
But going back to what we were saying, 17-game season. That'd be good. I think the arguments I was saying against it though was with the players' health and that. But I was, in this day and age, with the stuff that they have, I really don't see a problem in having.
Yeah, I think sports science-wise, an extra game can work. I think the other thing is that an injury can happen in game 1. It can happen in game 17. I think you look at
it's not flat out running all the time. Like there are a few gaps in between plays.
Don't get me wrong. The impact on body is huge, I think you look at last year the amount of injuries there were, but they were so early in the season. After probably the halfway point, I don't think really.
Usually before Christmas.
Yeah, I think the last real big one was Joe Burrow, and that was accidental more than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I can find what the games were. They were released, weren't they? But I can't seem to bring them up.
Schedules are due out soon as well, aren't they? So
I think they've already have released the 17 who's playing who. I don't know if it's with everybody. Newly proposed. This is the actual one though. Packers at Chiefs, Bears at Raiders, Cowboys at Patriots. I think that is
Giants.
Giants
at Dolphins.
I think it rings a bell.
Rams at Ravens.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah. I'm buzzing for that. Makes it last a little bit longer. But I can see why everyone in America watches all the other sports, like basketball and baseball and that, because they last so much longer.
Yeah.
Than the National Football League.
Basketball lasts around a whole year.
It's just constant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every time I go on the telly, it's like, I'm like, basketball's on. Or ice hockey. I love watching ice hockey, to be fair. I can't get on the bandwagon with you guys with the basketball. I really struggle with it.
Huge on basketball, me.
I don't know. I just can't get into it. But when I watched ice hockey the other night, I was like, buzzing. This is great.
Yeah.
geezers actually flying at each other.
And just the ref let them fight, which is
It's
I always found quite
fantastic.
amusing.
What a sport it is.
Yeah.
Just what I love it.
It's brutal, and it's almost not a sport.
That's great.
In the fact that it's just controlled.
Boxing on ice.
Yeah, but then you've also got people getting excited over and was it one of the big ice vehicles that clears the thing?
Oh yeah, the little buffer machine that comes out.
The buffer comes on and clears the ice, and people get excited over it, and I'm like,
great. What a great day
is it Zamboni or something like that?
Oh, I don't know.
I need to find out what it's called. Is it?
I can't remember what it's called. I mean, I haven't watched ice. I mean, I watched highlights of a game last night. New Jersey.
Yeah, Zamboni is an ice resurfacer.
Zamboni.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Made by Frank Zamboni. That's why.
Wow, what a name for a machine that just buffs ice.
I don't get people coming up, getting excited about it.
Yeah, but I can't get excited about basketball really.
I think that's an American thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, now I hope you're ready for this, Reece, because you should have them all on your screen now. Jersey numbers.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm joking. Yeah, no. So
we were talking about this last time.
It's been rumoured for a long while, been questioned for a long while, but jersey numbers as part of those voted reforms. Some have stayed the same, some have been given the option to change. So QB's offensive line, defensive line and punter number brackets remain the same. So they can't change what they've got there. Quarterback still 1 to 19, kickers, punters still 1 to 19. But the ones that have changed, linebackers, defensive back, tight ends, wide receivers, running backs can now all wear single-digit uniform numbers, as well as their current
I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm big on it.
And actually, part of me is a bit. I don't think we'll see many this year. So the ruling states that if they're doing it this year, the individual player has to buy every jersey that has their current name and number printed and pre-printed from the manufacturers. They have to buy up the whole allocation. So if you're
that can't be a thing.
No, it is. So per the NFL rules,
yeah, you can do
if
it.
If they want to change number,
much money,
however,
you're going to buy all of our stock of your jersey.
That's because they're saying about fans spending money out on things. If they want to change number for next season, they can pre-allocate themselves it, and they've not got to pay anything. But if they do it this year, for this year,
I mean, don't get me wrong, money's no object to him, but still.
Well, this is the thing. If you're a huge player, if you're Pat Mahomes,
you can afford it.
You can afford it, but also you think the amount of already pre-printed Pat Mahomes jerseys there are compared to say your average.
If it was me and I was a player, I wouldn't change my number.
I'll just wait for next year.
I wouldn't change it at all. I wouldn't change the new
number.
guys that come in, the young guys, they're going to get a better option, aren't they? The guys are going to come through, you can have this number now.
I would change my number. I mean, if it means that much to you and you are doing it, you just say, look, I'm pre-allocating it for next year and I'm going for it from next year. Well, I don't see why you'd what you can do with that stock. But personally, if you're the player,
imagine but like your missus like, there's a big delivery out the front. Oh yeah, that's because I've bought every single
out
shirt.
comes 7 U-Haul trucks, just loaded full of jerseys.
They've just got your name on it. It's because I love me so much.
Yeah,
just plaster the walls.
Don't get me wrong, get Cramp and sign them all and sell them on and make some money.
Just sign
them. But yeah, that's the jersey thing. One of many rules. It was proposed by the Chiefs, so. If that leads us to believe that there may be some Chiefs players planning to change.
I think Pat Mahomes was number 5 at college. I don't think he necessarily needs to change. 15 is quite iconic for him now.
Yeah,
like you think TB12, that doesn't really sound the same.
You can say PM15.
Yeah.
PM15.
Yeah, PM15. Well, it's not too bad. But
sounds like a TV show.
Yeah, it does. But yeah,
an age rating.
It's always it's one of those things, like it kind of, like I said about TB12, it was always going to be him. Like it's always 12, and I just think if you have a legacy, I think don't change the number halfway through.
Speaking of TB12, he doesn't like it. He absolutely hates the idea. He's gone absolutely ham on fucking Instagram, Twitter, the lot, about how he doesn't like the idea that people can have these numbers.
But then also, as we've said before, and I think the discussion last time was that you look at big sports players away from American football who've had number changes, e.g. David Beckham. It's done their career no harm and actually probably propelled them even more. Kobe Bryant went from
8 to 24.
Yeah.
So that has been done.
It's not unknown.
What was Beckham? Was 32?
7, then 23.
23, that was it.
And then there wasn't 23 32. Available at AC Milan, so he was 32 at AC Milan.
Oh, was he? Oh, well, there you
then
go.
23 at LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
23 at
PSG,
I think. I went over 32 at PSG.
32 actually, I think.
Yeah, so I think these are the things. There are always routes. There are always ways, and I think it's one of those. If yes, you say TB12, but if you're iconic enough, I don't think your number makes a difference. It can be part of your brand. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldo R9, Ronaldinho had the R10 branded boots, but I don't think you need a number's not going to make the person. Is it? It's not.
Nah. If it was me, like I say, I'd just if I was already an NFL player, I'd just rock whatever I've got, just keep it, and then just give it, like I say, give it to the young
legacy, I suppose.
Yeah, give it to the young guys. You know, if that number then becomes if a new number came available, then maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I'd keep it. But I think it's good. Good news. A kicker's able to have really low numbers.
1 to 19. Sorry, I was yawning then. 1 to 19. Kickers, punters, and QB.
Episode 5, three listens. Me, you, and Reese.
No, mate, I'm not going to listen back. No, quarterbacks, kickers, and punters are all 1 to 19.
Why would a kicker being? So it was a kicker. I think Pat McAfee was number 1 as a kicker. I always think that was a bit weird. A kicker being number 1.
Yeah, it's
strange.
Really. There's a couple that are number 2, isn't there?
Yeah, number 2 makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. So we're going to move on to our famous segment, SBB, or Start Bench Bin, if you've not heard of it, but you should have done by now. Cause
go back to episode 1.
Yeah, if you don't know, get to know.
I don't think episode 1 was the best. It was that great, though. I think...
Oh, go to episode 2 or 3 then.
Yeah, 3. 3
and 4 were
3 and 4 were mega. They were mega episodes. Best so far. We're going to work it a little bit differently, though, so we're going to try and make this as drafty as possible, even though we've not even spoken about it yet. But
draftly.
That's a draftee.
Oh, really?
Draftly. Drafty, like a draft going through a door. through a door frame.
Oh, God.
What is going on?
People listening to this.
If you listen to this, thank you and sorry.
Yeah, all 30 of them. That's not. What was the listeners on?
It doesn't matter. Let's go on with it.
Okay, sorry. I just want to know. We're going to start bench bin. We're going to do it from the last 20 years. So we're going to have a first round pick. We're all going to pick a first rounder from the last.
The number 1 overall.
Yeah, number 1. That's what I said.
You said first round pick.
Same thing.
Yeah, first round pick number. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was confused.
Don't worry. Yeah. So we're going to pick a number 1 for the last 20 years, and then we're gonna have to start one, bench one, bin one. So they should all be pretty decent. Who wants to start?
You can go ahead, Jonesy, as you've brought us.
Okay, cool. Then I've written down a couple, but I'm going to go with this one. Andrew Luck, 2012.
Good choice.
He was brilliant, and I was gutted to see him go.
Yeah.
It was all sort of, as far as I felt really bad for him when it all happened, because he literally got booed off the pitch because it almost leaked before he wanted to make the announcement, and all the fans were booing him. So sometimes I think it was the fact he had so many injuries.
The Colts have not been anywhere near as good as since they.
No, definitely not. So. He was a fantastic player. I'd love to say he would come back, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
For the good of his health, I think fair play to him. Andrew Luck is my shout. What we got?
I've gone 2004 Eli Manning.
There's some middle fingers going up. Someone else might have picked that one. Eli Manning.
What a player. What a player. Okay, he was always probably living in the shadow. Well, he was living in the shadow of his brother, but
that's an interesting one because you put him down as your favourite picks, but he was technically drafted to the Chargers.
He was,
When he was not drafted to the Giants. I don't actually know the ins and outs how that works, but I just know he got pretty much traded straight away.
I think it was on draft night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was within the.
I've never
looked. Turned around and said he didn't want to play.
Yeah, I've never seen a bloke look so miserable. He's just signed, or he's just been picked by an NFL team, and he's just stood there with the Chargers jersey, just like blank faced.
Point blankly before he turned around and said, "I refuse to play for this team. If they pick me, I refuse." And his old man was involved as well.
Had Drew Brees left at that point? Drew Brees used to play.
I think that was. Yeah, I think he may have.
Or was Drew Brees still with them? I don't know. Yeah, well, no, because if you think about it, his older brother was playing for the Colts and was basically becoming a legend.
Yeah.
And then he's going to get picked by the Chargers. But yeah, cool, interesting pick. So Reese, who did you have?
I think honourable shout out from that, to be fair, because that then made the Chargers got Philip Rivers, didn't they?
It did indeed get Philip Rivers.
The Giants then drafted Rivers and they traded there and then, and everyone was happy.
And Philip Rivers could start his massive family.
It's forever growing. I was stuck between two, to be fair, but I'll go with my second one. So, Cam Newton.
Ooh.
2011, Cam Newton to the Panthers.
What a player, though.
Yeah, obviously, as we've spoken about before, bit of a slight downslope in the last year.
Well, he had a year out, a couple of years out, didn't he?
Yeah.
This might sound a bit disjointed, but we just realised we got a slight technical issue with one of the mics again. Usually get one every time we do this.
Yeah, it's always one, isn't it?
We believe Reese's mic is really, really quiet. So yeah, Reese is going to have to talk either really, really loud or just talk into the mic more, which you don't do very well. Me and George always are like leaning in, and you're like, yeah, so just like
you do realise that people can't see what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you're usually sat a million miles away. But anyway, it doesn't
You're
matter.
normally too loud, so I don't understand why you can't do that.
So long story short, I picked Cam Newton as my pick. I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but Cam Newton as pick after George stole Eli Manning, but someone who is a great player, Heisman Trophy winner, Offensive Rookie of the Year, MVP. So he's got some stats to his name, and someone I think we all know and love and has seen can do it on the reg.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Cam Newton when he was at the Panthers, to be fair. Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I think Cam is. I think he's gone.
I feel like this will be make or break year for him, definitely.
100% make or break. I don't think he has. I feel this is going to be it. He has to do something, because if you compare him to what he was like at the Panthers, he was like so good. But hey, who knows? George, so you've got Cam Newton. I've got Andrew Luck. You've got Eli Manning. Who are we starting? Who are we benching? Who are we binning? Or into the trash can?
Do you go from the bottom up?
Are we going like in prime or just on a whole?
On a whole, I think, because we're going back so far that we're going to have to do it
as in careers as well.
Yeah.
Oh, tricky, really, isn't it? When you actually sit there and think about it, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think you've got three players who, at the current moment, all obviously at different points. You've got two that are retired, one that had a very long career, one that's still going. So it could be anything, but
for me, I would probably. I'd start Andrew Luck, not because I picked him, but I'd start Andrew Luck. I would bench Eli and bin Cam Newton.
So I've gone for start Eli, bench Cam Newton, bin Andrew Luck.
Binned Andrew Luck. Disgusting.
I hate to agree. I've gone exactly the same. Yeah. I've gone the same. Yeah. I know it's going to sound quite unfair. Don't worry, it's class. I'm just going on the shortened career they had to retire. I know it's not his fault, but
it's a shortened career. I'm still going on overall career. It may be a short career.
When he was playing, he was unreal. And if he had a longer career, then it would have been probably a completely different story. But yeah, when I think of all of them, I think Eli was just one of the GOATs. Cam Newton at Panthers, especially Super Bowl winning year, was just a disgrace. For that 2-3 years, he was just
I'm starting a non-Super Bowl winning quarterback.
It was just class, and don't get me wrong, Andrew Luck definitely had the ability to win a Super Bowl, no doubt about it. But I think unfortunately for him, the injury.
When you're comparing him to two big players, one who's obviously still going, and it's not been great, but two big players, it's. Unfortunately, he's the third biggest player out of the three of them. Personally,
wasn't easy putting him in the bin though.
No, not something that I had to sit there and think like. It was not like I sat there and thought, okay.
Oh no! The thing is, Andrew Luck isn't actually going to go into the proverbial bin that we've had because this is a special, so he's not actually going to be in the bin.
Wow, I don't know.
Wow.
It's
not bad company in that bin.
Josh Allen.
SPB is SPB. If we have an additional night, it is the proverbial bin.
Well, his yellow bin, you can have the little asterisk and the NFL draft special.
So that is. He's in the bin. Have you got it written down? I've put
somewhere. Yeah. So
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa was in it. Yeah.
Kenny Golladay.
Kenny G.
We have to continue this. until
we can field a
whole team.
Just sitting there at the moment, who do you think is the one that's been done the worst, being in that bin?
Oh, it's Josh Allen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be Josh Allen.
You've now got Andrew Luck in there, you know.
Yeah, Andrew Luck's
for me, Josh Allen has been done.
If Andrew Luck,
even if we had a bin team, I think he's still on bench for me. Andrew Luck,
I'll
still start Josh Allen.
The Josh Allen fan club is back.
Oh, we love him. I'm not sure if I mentioned last week. So, a mate of mine, who's friend of the podcast, was saying that we should Madden it. We should put them all. I don't even know how you do that. To be fair. Or
draft a team and
all the players we've binned, hopefully we can fill all positions. We put them into a team and like just sim a season, and we simmed in like a matter of seconds and we'll just see where they came.
Super Bowl winning team, right?
Yeah, bottom of the bottom of the division.
Yeah, so we've got a first round pick next year.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do that. Would you? I mean, I've not played Madden in ages. Could you just create
I think you can create a team. You can create a complete team.
But do you have to use another team? Because obviously they're in a division, so you'd have to get a team.
Yeah, I mean,
I suppose you just get a team. You strip their. Doesn't really matter who it is, does it? You just strip
Jags,
there you go. Get the Jags. Strip their team out. Put our team in it. Sim it, and then they won't be drafting Trevor Lawrence. Because
we need him. Josh Allen and Andrew Luck have a bad back.
We used to the thing with people like Andrew Luck, we wouldn't be able to put in there. But yeah, no, it's a very good idea. Maybe something for the end of the season.
Yeah, we should do that.
End of the show.
And also, I'm going to mention a few others on here.
Honourable mention for Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, #1 pick in 2016. How are you feeling about that one?
Well, I don't even want to talk about it. How that, without getting annoyed, how that guy went 1 overall.
2 years Pro Bowl.
Honestly.
Oh, you was, yeah.
Exactly. You see all the companies in regards to like Pro Bowls, Super Bowl MVP, champion, and he's just got 2. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I hate him.
my honourable mentions the year before. What a bloke this guy is. Jameis Winston.
Oh, the boy.
Beating that W, yeah? I throw 30 picks and still get a move to the Saints.
Yeah, still go to a better team. Well, not so much anymore, but who else we got on there?
I suppose you have to say Peyton Manning.
Carson Palmer. He trains loads of quarterbacks now. He has like a really short career from my memory, and he played for the Bengals, and then he now is like all the young quarterbacks coming out of college. He like trains them ready for the draft and shit. So Michael Vick, 2001. David Carr, the better one of the Derek Carr brothers.
Just looking at the future, all the futuristics. It was kind of a break into the could have been a 4th year of a Heisman Trophy winner going first, but was it Devonta?
It wasn't Trevor Lawrence, was it?
Devonta Smith.
It was Devonta Smith, wasn't it?
Yeah, the wide receiver.
From Alabama.
Yep.
Alabama.
And there's potentially going to go like 12th in the draft.
Yeah.
Crazy, really.
But I mean,
it's nice. I love QBs, but it's nice that QB didn't win Heisman.
That last 3 years, non-honourable pick's been a QB
Heisman winning QB.
Heisman.
Yeah.
I like the fact that in 2014 you had Jalen Clowney. Yeah. As a defensive
your favourite
player.
Miles Garrett, Jonesy in 2017.
What a medal.
What a man. Miles Garrett. The ability he has with throwing a few helmets around. Yeah, I do. I like him.
Devon Clowney was the biggest disappointment last year. We signed him and I had so much hope.
Where's he
I know. Is
he onto the Ravens?
No, I think so.
He come to us and then.
Where is he now?
He's got to move. Oh, here you go. It's American
Browns. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. How long was he with you for?
Just last year.
That was just last year.
6 games.
Yeah, what a disappointment.
He played 8 games.
I mean, the Browns' defense is stacked.
That's mental. He had a Pro Bowl 16, 17, 18.
Just 8 games and 0 sacks.
Good.
One forced fumble.
Yeah, well,
did his job that game.
One thing I find quite interesting, you look at this list and you think it's just because they're first round pick does not mean they're a guaranteed future Hall of Famer and all the rest of it. Like you look at that list, there's some players there you think, God, they were rubbish.
Well, you think even to like 2019, you think, and 18, you go, okay, they're good in the league. But Kyler Murray, let's be realistic, he hasn't really done much. Baker Mayfield hasn't done much. They're not bad players and they are good QBs, but they haven't really. I wouldn't say they've lit the league up. Actually, Kyler Murray probably more so.
My favourite on this is in 2007. Jamarcus Russell to all of our favourite team, the Oakland Raiders at the time.
Oh, the Oakland Raiders.
Just reading up on it. Didn't actually play until week 3 because he decided to hold out on his contract till the second week, saying he wasn't going to sign for them.
Can't blame him.
Lasted 3 years and never came back.
Wow. Oh yeah, look at the list that you got here. You got all
the NFL's biggest busts.
You got all these other players with a million things next to him.
Wasn't he? Christ.
Yeah, all of their accomplishments.
And he's got nothing.
Blank line.
It's a blank line. That is class. Cool. Well, there we go. Another SBB. We're going to definitely continue it into the season. We'll get more and more players just thrown into there. We'll probably mix it up more, get some more defensive players and special teams players.
Maybe some coaches in there.
Oh, yeah, we need a coach.
Punters.
Punters. Yeah.
Brett Card for the win.
Kickers. Now, one thing you may or may not have heard of over the last few weeks on the build-up to the NFL draft. That is
sound.
That sound. That is your.
I've got the biggest smile on my face right now.
When that sound comes on the first, well, usually not the first pick because you know who that's going to be. But yeah, I do that. That it reminds me of the lockdown, quarantine draft we had last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's no abuse of the commissioner, was there?
No, that was.
You see, he's had both vaccines.
Oh, he's had both.
So he can actually be there.
He can hug people.
Lucky them.
Weird. Just what they've always wanted.
Weird, awkward Roger Goodell hug. Thanks.
I actually when I look back on that at the time, I thought this is fucking weird. Like, I'm not too sure about this. And I look back on it, I think that was brilliant.
Yeah,
like
the way the league.
Living room.
You know, they were like, oh, there's only going to be friends and family. You know full well behind the camera there was about 50 other family members.
Who was your head coach? Who had like his kid was dressed up as like in a mullet and like it was like superhero.
Frozen, wasn't it? From
Yeah, Rabel's kids went wacko and it was great.
Yeah,
which one was it? Was it either your head coach or the Dolphins? In the background, you saw one of their kids like on the toilet.
Yeah, that was rape song.
Packed around his ankles.
That was rape song.
Honestly, I think back to it because my body clock was so messed up because I wasn't at work. I wasn't going to bed till like 1. I wasn't getting tired till about 1 o'clock in the morning anyway because like me and Megan, she wasn't working either, so we just had to stay watching telly all night. So then when it came to the draft, I just sat, didn't need any energy drinks. I just sat and hammered through all of it.
I was working through it, so I remember getting to about pick 12, waking up the next morning, and there were about 200 messages in the group chat.
I think it was just me and you.
Yeah, me and my old man stayed up and watched the whole thing.
I woke up about 7:30 while I went off ready to get ready for work. I was like,
I crawled into bed at 5 a.m.
Yeah, same. I mean, same as last year and same this year. I have the next day off, so.
Yeah, this year
for that reason.
This has worked out perfectly again, but I don't think I'm gonna last as long this time though, because my body clock's normal. So I think I'm gonna get to about I'll probably make it to about 2 o'clock, maybe pushing 3 o'clock, and I think unless I'm Red Bulled up, I'm gonna be like flagging.
Yeah. Or any other energy drink you choose to drink.
That's true. What did the BBC say?
Something.
Oh, I was hoping we'd have it there. Sure. Other energy drinks are available.
If you want to sponsor us Red Bull, though, please do.
That'd be fantastic. The draft at Cleveland this year, and they're going to have a crowd, aren't they?
I believe they are, yeah. That'd be nice. As much as like we said about the league did so well with last year's one in regards to the climate and the circumstances, but looking forward to seeing it on a stage.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
The abuse thrown at Roger Goodell again.
Yeah, the biggest thing I think is I'm not sure it's going to be the same this year. Still, even with the fact that there will be fans there, I'm not sure it's going to be quite the same. But like when I was there, it was like a massive family event. Like the whole the build up. There's like games. Like there's literally you can kick a field goal, like a mini field goal, and like kids can do it. And then there's all these all the challenges you see in like the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
You get like some of those are there for people to try out. And like there's people watching. It's just a good event. So whether or not that's going to happen again in Cleveland, I don't know. when I think about it, I was so lucky to actually have gone to a draft and experienced it fully before this virus turned up.
America is like a lot less strict about.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It. So I think there probably will be some form of it. Because if you do it here, you got them on 2 people in the street. So
yeah, not wrong.
Yeah, but it will be nice. Can I just? I think I've spoken about it before on this podcast, but Bill Belichick's dog. I'm gonna miss that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sat there chilling.
Just sat there chilling.
Well, Andy Reid in his Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. And I think we spoke about the Falcons owners' unreal gap.
No, it was the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Cardinals. I think it was the Cardinals,
Cardinals
GM.
the GM.
Oh mate.
Oh God, what?
But have you
Five
speaking of that? Have you
outside.
seen the LA Rams this year? They've got a house in Malibu.
What?
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't think. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to be there. I don't think they are. Like, yeah.
What? As in the coaches have got a house in Malibu.
Yeah. And it's like decked out with Rams, everything. I think the little promo video, I'm not sure I can find it, had an actual ram walking around the house. The pool had like a rubber dinghy with the Rams logo on it. They went full out.
Is
like
it a BMS goat house?
pretty much.
I want to be
But, like,
there. I
honestly, it looked like an infinity pool, like in Malibu, and it looks unreal.
I want to be there in the background. Like they'll be there in the house drinking, and I'll be in the pool. And I'll be like, "Is it good, all right, fellas?" They'll be like, "Yeah." Like, cool.
Yeah.
Did you get what you wanted? Like, you're like,
Yeah. Just a weird bloke. In the back.
yeah. Well, like your mum, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, did you get the players you wanted,
Right, love?
son?
Yeah.
But that could have happened. Imagine that last year when they were doing it. It'd be like, "Did you get who you wanted, darling?"
I can imagine
Yeah.
Andy Reid walking through from his little office room
And his wife.
in his Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Did you get who you wanted?
Yeah, and he will say something. She goes, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
Twitching his little moustache.
Yeah, but yeah, I want to be there. I want to be in the pool, just getting smashed up and letting them
Honestly,
do
yeah.
it.
You'll have to YouTube it. It looks ledge, to be fair. Shout out Rams.
Shout out to the Rams.
They're buzzing. They've got Jared Goff off their book, so they can afford it. Yeah.
Jared Goff is going to be a never-ending subject on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Called Detroit.
I fight for days on SBB.
Might never be on it.
Why is it? Well, no. Well, we've always done quarterbacks, but we could
I'd
probably
rather
do
have
quarterbacks
a
again.
1% fit Andrew Luck with a broken back or spinal cord playing as my starting QB than him.
That's
strong.
big.
Yeah.
That's big.
So strong. I despise him.
To be fair, I've not heard anybody who's listened to our podcast and heard our Jared Goff conversation actually say to me, "I disagree with you."
I was going to say,
Most
yeah.
people have
He's got any
agreed.
fans.
Is there anyone that you guys despise as much as George despised Jared Goff? Let us know. We'll try and do a whip around before the next podcast to find out.
Oh, that'd be
who it is.
brilliant. Yeah, please send us in who you hate.
You know, it could just be for any reason. Like George has no reason; he just doesn't like him. And yeah, if you guys have that, if there's any player that you sit there and think, I want to see them in pain, for whatever reason, let us know.
That'd be cool. Now we've heard. We've all seen a lot of mock drafts all over the show, Instagram, and
ESPN.
from ESPN, CBS, all the big guys. We've seen a lot of them. A lot of them are very similar, to be fair. Like you were saying. Now we've not gone down that format of we're all going to do one. We would have probably liked to, but I think a lot of our stuff would have been very similar. So we have got a mock draft put together by George himself, very professionally, scribbled on a piece of paper. We're going to run through it. We're basically only going to do the top 10. We're not going to go through all of them. We're going to go through the top 10 there. Yeah, we're just going to discuss it. So I'll hand it over to you, mate.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, as Jones just said, I very professionally put together my my round one top 10.
Do your best Mel Kiper. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I kind of
Or Ian Rappaport,
or any of them.
Or any of them, yeah.
So, as you guys both know, and I suppose the listeners that have listened since week one know that I am extremely huge on Zach Wilson, the QB. So this is probably where you two would have shut me down instantly. But I've gone.
Don't tell me you put him number one.
Yeah, I've gone Zach Wilson number one. So I obviously understand you two are going to say no. But I've gone him going to Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence going to New York. I know it's not going to happen, but that's just what I would personally pick. But like again, like it was the same as last year. The draft starts at 2, doesn't it? Like it's a shoe-in that Trevor Lawrence is going to go to the.
Mac Jones for number one.
Well, he's going higher than we all thought,
Mac
isn't he?
Jones.
Mac Jones for number one.
So yeah, obviously, okay. Well, for you guys' sake, we'll say Trevor Lawrence going 1
Zach Wilson 2.
Yeah, and I've gone Zach. We'll go Zach Wilson 2 to the New York Jets. But realistically, it gets kind of interesting at 3 with the 49ers, because there's a lot of sort of rumours going around that who they're big on, who they're not. I think Kyle Shanahan come out and said that he's big on Mac Jones for some reason. But his scouts are saying that he should be looking at and taking a proper serious look at Trey Lance, because I know he went to his second pro day. So yeah, it should be interesting to see what route they go down in the draft.
What was that quote? Didn't we give a quote last time? It was someone said if Mac Jones goes to San Francisco, it will be a travesty or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I think it was a mixture of all of us, wasn't it?
I think I mean we were talking a few weeks ago, or quite a few weeks ago now, probably 2 podcasts ago, where we sat there and said that, I think me and you, Chris, particularly said we thought Trey Lance could go second or third, particularly second at the point. But now, yeah, he looks like he's fallen in, and Mac Jones has come out of nowhere. And
you never know. I think the biggest thing for me, looking at this year's draft, is how they've had to analyse and report on players without having a combine. Having a lot less time. There's a lot of video watching. There's a lot less going to see players, watching them actually play because of the restrictions. So I think we're going to see this year players might get drafted higher than they anticipated, lower. I think we might see some shocks like later in the league in a few years' time, when there's players that we might see here that get drafted, I don't know, third round, fourth round, and become something ridiculous. You know, it does happen. You know, that does happen normally, but I think we'll see more of it because of this. And I think Mac Jones is one of those. I just think, for me, I think he's going to get picked high, definitely. I think he'll be a bust.
Yeah, I do.
I think it'd be Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold's not a bust, but like, what's he done?
I think the thing as well is that there's probably more pressure on Mac Jones if he goes third than even someone like Trevor Lawrence who's gone first, because it's expected for that. But for him to go so high
above who he's gone above,
yeah, you know, because there's 2 or 3 other quarterbacks that could and should potentially go higher than him. I know it's all arguable, and I think Shanahan and who's the is it Jones as well at there?
Who's I?
At the 49ers.
What? Coach?
GM?
I don't know what the GM is, to be fair.
They've proven before, haven't they, that they don't go with what is believed to be the right order and do as they please and what they feel is right for their team. So, you know, they probably got it right before. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think that will be the upset of the draft, even though it's known to happen already.
Yeah. So going back to your list then, Hamper, so obviously Trevor isn't going number 1.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson's going number 1.
Yeah.
Your number 2 was
Trevor
Lawrence.
Yeah. So yeah, I've gone Mac Jones 3 to the 49ers just because I feel like he will. And then this is again for me where it gets interesting. Like, a lot of people think that Kyle Pitts will go 4 to the Falcons, but I have a sneaky feeling that they will go for a QB, just purely because obviously they've still got Matt Ryan. But you think if you get a rookie QB, a Trey Lance, a Justin Fields, having a year, maybe 2 under Matt Ryan.
If they have a second pick, they could always go for a little bit of an outsider, because say Matt Ryan's still there, he's still consistent, but yeah, he's not. You know, he's only got a couple of years left, if not a year. So they could always pick a bit late. But I see what you mean.
What way they want to play it. Again, personally, I think like they probably won't, but I have gone with that they will take Trey Lance. Again, just for the fact of, like, as far as QBs go, he is one of the best, Matt Ryan, and to have a year or 2, like we just said, of learning under him, and what the league's about, then yeah, I just think if he retires or moves on or whatever, then that rookie quarterback is ready to step in. He's had the guidance and had time to sort of learn. He'll get a few snaps in his first year, of course he will. But yeah. So yeah, that was one of the tough ones, because going from if I originally went Trey Lance and then I've gone onwards to 10, and that means that Justin Fields has not made the top 10. So it's So
if Justin Fields doesn't,
I am big on Justin Fields, but yeah, it's hard because
they could, like you were saying earlier when we were talking about this, there could be a drop for one of those guys, and they might not even go in the first. They could be sat there at the end, looking a bit like Lamar did those years ago, looking like he was about to like lose his mind because he's not been picked in the first round.
So
he did, but
there's 3 definitely, and potentially 4 in with Zach Wilson, where at least one of them could take a tumble that's not expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said earlier, Jonesy, because I think a lot of the teams, especially top 5, will go QB. And then come into out of top 5, so you've got like Bengals, Miami, Lions, Panthers, Broncos, Dallas, that don't necessarily all need a QB. So that, like we said, someone like a Justin Fields, if he's not been picked, or a Trey Lance, or even maybe a Mac Jones, we're looking potentially 12, 13, 14, 15 maybe, and you think we've gone, this is going to be a QB draft, and then you've got someone of the quality, just say for argument's sake, Justin Fields' caliber sitting pick 14, you've got Minnesota Vikings, and pick 15 you've got New England Patriots, and they're.
We said before, probably looking for a franchise QB, so it wouldn't surprise you them taking.
I saw something earlier that they may be looking ring around to trade up to get someone like a Justin Fields.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to go Justin Fields.
So it's all up in the air. That's for me going to be the exciting part of the draft. I think. Some positions and some picks pick themselves what they need, and they know what they need, and everyone knows what they need. But in regards to that, where they're not in dire need, like a Falcons, like a New England, where there's good QBs to have. But yeah, that would be for me the one to watch.
Nice.
So that's that. Then I've gone for the Bengals. It was a tough one for me because obviously Joey B's coming back. Do you get more cover for Joey B? Because he took a lot of sacks, let's be real. He took a lot of sacks his first year. Or would you give him more weapons?
I think I sent one of you the meme of, it's already going around for Trevor Lawrence now, that Family Guy meme where he's getting gets the ball, he's like, oh yeah, I'm playing, and just goes boom, and gets like, that literally happened to him.
That was Joey B.
That literally happened to him. I think
so it depends on what.
I'm intrigued by this Bengals one from you.
Yeah. So I've gone another weapon for Joey B. So I've gone the link up with Jamar Chase that they had at LSU. Not last year, before. I just think they could run it back. They were formidable at LSU when they were there together.
So before the Dolphins traded their pick away up there, I thought that they would go for Jamar Chase.
Yeah. So, like I said, what do you guys think on the Bengals? Do you reckon they will go defensive side of the ball?
I don't think they was going defensive. I think they were going for. No, I cannot pronounce this man's name for long. Is it?
Penei
Sewell, yeah, him.
Sewell, yeah.
Can I say it? Have you got it written down?
Yeah, Penei Sewell.
We're going to call him Penny Sewell.
Penny Sewell, yeah, Penny Sewell. Right.
The most English way to say it, Penny Sewell.
Penny Sewell.
Right, but I've seen him go because I think he's been outrighted as the best defensive player in the draft.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they just need, I think, proven with what happened to Joe Burrow last year, they need some assistance.
I'll go back to one of the games sticks out for me. I watched the Washington football team against the Bengals last year, and that was last year's drafts 1 and 2. So it was what's his name? He's gone out. Joey B and
how can you forget his name?
Who went number 2 last year? The plays for Washington. Chase Young. And there was one in particular hit that he hit Joey B so hard. Like I think even Chase Young got from the hit and was like, oh god, like
I've killed him.
That was a point proven. Like obviously he was always going to go number 2 behind Joey B, but that was a statement made. Like it was a big hit. So I do agree with what you're saying, Reese. But I think they lost one of their sort of key wide receivers. I think he went to the Cardinals. So I think there is a wide receiver that they will need, and I just think, I don't know, it'll be tough for them to turn down Jamar Chase if he's there. But yeah, it's up in the air with the Bengals.
Yeah,
I've gone attacking side of the ball, but I mean I won't be surprised if they go defensive. really, because it's what you would rather. So after that, we've gone to the Miami Dolphins, and I've gone another weapon for Tua, and I've gone for Kyle Pitts, the tight end.
Yeah, I like him.
I rate him so highly.
Mm-hmm.
I think
he's unbelievable.
Coming out of college, I think the one I think of, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, that kind of caliber tight end. I think in years to come, we're going to be talking
big potential.
Yeah, he's the same as them.
He's a Florida Gator as well, isn't he? So Miami as well.
Exactly. I just think Tua is proven that he has a few options and he has a good couple of weapons. But I think if you get someone that's just a size, I think he's 6'6", Kyle Pitts.
I think he started his career as a QB or something.
Yeah, I think he did. And I think
he is
if
a
Tua
behemoth
gets him,
of a man.
If Tua gets him and the Dolphins get him, they're buzzing. That'll be one of the picks of the draft for me, Kyle Pitts.
I think it goes back to the thing about the Dolphins strengthening really well again through drafts.
Yeah, they went through years of shit and now they're laughing, really, aren't they?
They are now.
I mean, they've dropped down. They even dropped down, and they're still potentially going to get someone of the caliber of Kyle Pitts. And
they've just got like a deck of picks, haven't they? That they just like.
Even though there's a huge wide receiver class as well this year, isn't there? Where there's people available, so even if they don't get a tight end in Kyle Pitts, they've got other options they can go to support Tua.
I think we'll see some dominance from the Dolphins in the future.
I think they're challenges this year.
Well, what did we put them in? No, I think chasing the lead.
Pushing the leaders, yeah.
I think it'll be a big year for them this year. So after that, I've gone. Penny Sewell.
Penny Sewell
to the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately for him, because let's be honest, that joke of a QB is going to need all the help he can get, because he was behind Aaron Donald and he had one of the best defensive lines in the game at the Rams, and he's going to go from that to one that's not so great, not as good.
Which you'll enjoy watching him get hit then?
Well, yeah, I would love to. Nothing pleased me more. But yeah, I think if he somehow is still there at that pick, I think they will go Penny Sewell. Because, like you said, he's the.
We're butchering this name so much. It's so
I'm
funny.
so sorry if anyone's listening, like cringing out of the way we're saying his name.
I'm just going to stick with it, Penny Sewell, but it's probably horrendously wrong.
It's probably.
It could be worse.
Peanut.
Peanut Sewell.
Don't worry, this podcast goes out as explicit, so we can say that.
I mean, Peanut's not that bad, but yeah, Peanut Sewell.
Oh God.
The plural of
poor boy.
And then I've gone Panthers. I've gone JC Horn.
So you got from Peanut to Horn.
So what? That's how you say his name. JC Horn.
Oh, it's so immature.
Oh God!
We're not even drinking any alcohol. We're giving it this.
San Pellegrino's got it in it.
Are you sure that was San Pellegrino?
Margarita.
Oh, don't. Yeah.
JC Horn.
One of the best
JC Horn.
in the draft.
I like him. I like him a lot. I've seen a few things from him.
Don't think the Panthers are going to trade for a QB. Sorry, draft a QB.
Wow, they've got Sam Darnold. I think they'll roll with him for a year, maybe two. See how it goes. Because what's the thing with Sam Darnold? Like, okay, he is unproven, but he was at the Jets, and they are an absolute shambolic franchise. So don't get me wrong, the Panthers aren't the best, but he's going to have more weapons there. I think it's a huge year for Sam Darnold.
I don't know who their backup is there, to be fair. Oh, is it still
Teddy Bridgewater?
Oh, it's still Teddy Bridgewater, isn't it?
I think it.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, no.
I
still have it in my mind that he's at the Saints, but no, that's big old Jameson.
If Mac Jones does go third, then you've still got a lot of QBs available. It's whether they'll pass up that opportunity, which might not come around next year.
True. So yeah, again, all up in the air. But I think just purely because they acquired Sam Darnold this year, I think they'll roll with him for a year or two. But yeah, I think on a side note from the draft, like I just said, I think Sam Darnold's a huge year for him because he didn't really want to move from the Jets, but he's got to move to the Panthers, and I think a better franchise all round. So yeah, I think you'd like to think he's going to sort of perform better because he's going to have more protection, more weapons to choose from and hit. So yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to bear with me for this one. So these names are getting, I think it's pronounced...
What number are we on?
9. Rashawn Slater. I don't think that's too hard to say.
Rashawn. That sounds perfect.
Rashawn.
Wow.
Rashawn. These Brits now.
I'm trying to sound
American
as posh
accent.
as Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn.
Rashawn Slater.
No, it's R.A. It's not R.E. It's racial.
Oh, it's Ray.
Yeah,
It's Ray
Lewis.
Rashawn.
Oh, it's R.A. R.A.S.
Well, like, okay.
I think it is Rashawn.
Rashawn.
God, we sound so uncultured here.
Yeah, Ray Sean.
I'm so sorry to.
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Sorry, Ray.
I've just got a picture of some sunglasses now.
You can't play football with sunglasses on.
They're good David to look.
Good David, what player? And then to finish off the George Hampson / 3-man draft.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Mock draft. We've gone the mighty Dallas Cowboys, and if Jerry Jones decides what actually goes for an offensive player, I will personally get a flight out to Dallas and try and lynch him myself. Because as much as I would love, like, if we tried to trade up, there was rumours a few weeks back that we were going to trade up for try and get Kyle Pitts. Don't get me wrong, I would love Kyle Pitts. Who wouldn't? But you just don't need
when
him.
you trade up though, you trade up for that guy you really, really want, because you're going to lose out on your own picks. If you want to trade up that high, you're probably going to get rid of maybe 2, maybe 3 picks in that same year.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to really want that guy.
Yeah, like last year, we were sitting down. I think we were 15th last year, and then CeeDee Lamb was still there. So I think it was one of those things that you had your eye on. I think they may have an eye on someone, and if he's still there for some reason at 10, they might go for it. Like CeeDee Lamb was. I probably couldn't believe themselves when they saw CeeDee Lamb sitting there at 15, I think.
100%.
Don't know, I was buzzing with that. But I've gone Patrick Surtain II, the cornerback out of Alabama. For me, what I've heard and what I've read is classed as the best cornerback in the draft. And if he's sitting there at 10, Dallas Cowboys should snap him up. And what I've seen, obviously, being a Cowboys fan, as we all know, on the different forums and things, the Cowboys are all in on him. Obviously, we'd like to think he won't be picked before that, but if he's still there,
and then you could end up with Ray Charles Horn.
Well, yeah, Rashawn.
Rashawn.
But yeah,
Rashawn Horn.
For me, I would be buzzing if we got Patrick Surtain. Like I say, he's picked as one of the best, if not the best, cornerback in the. And I think he played, I want to say last year, with our other, which is Trayvon Diggs, the baby brother to Stephon Diggs, and we have him at the cornerback. So if we were to get him this year in the draft, we'd have pretty solid cornerback setup going on.
Yeah. And
it's all help because, we need that defensive side of the ball is what we need. We're crying out for attacking in the whole NFL. We're right up there with the weapons that Dak has, with wide receiver, tight ends. But yeah, the defensive side of the ball lets us down so badly. So yeah, that's the top 10 mock draft complete.
From George, you get all the credit for that because you've literally done all the speaking there, gone through all of it.
Apologies for the names, the terrible efforts of some of them.
I think we did all right. I think we did okay with that. Yeah, we'd like to have gone to a bit more depth potentially with the draft, but if we're completely honest, our knowledge probably isn't deep enough to go full on ESPN, CBS level of the college game.
And if you're taking our opinions on the draft, you need to sort your head out.
Yeah. We're definitely going to watch it and sit there and talk about it and probably pretend we know what we're talking about. But yeah, no. So yeah, in terms of the draft, I'm looking forward to it. It's probably it gives you that little bit of something of football before you have to sit there and wait another 3 months. Oh God. So I cannot wait until we're here, like week in week out doing the season. I
think it's coming out of our ear holes.
We've got to try and schedule that in.
Because right now it's like once the draft is done, we're going to be scraping the barrel for news, aren't we? And unless the only news is bad news at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm part of Brain Freeze. Questions. We haven't got that many though, have we?
We've got 2.
Got 2.
Which one, to be fair, we've already answered with the draft side of it. So why is this year's draft dominated by quarterbacks? What are the wide receivers and running backs calibre? Well, going from your draft pick, or your top 10 draft, seems like running backs don't exist.
Yeah, true.
I think we spoke about it before, and it is true that with a running back, you're almost able to leave them to the second round. So I don't think they get as much kind of fanfare about them as
I think that
as the
the
QBs
game's
do.
changing. I think the league.
Well, the QBs kind of do a lot of the QB, like you say, the game's changing. The QBs coming through, probably apart from Mac Jones. You look at the QBs this year, especially. Then you think all of them.
There's so much more dynamic now.
mobile.
They always say it's a quarterback league. It sounds like a stupid thing to say, really, because yes, they're like the main player, but they always have been. But players are so much more dynamic now, and I think
wide receiver caliber is huge because
good Jamar Chase.
Devonta Smith is the Heisman winner.
Devonta Smith,
Wide receiver out of Alabama is
Jalen
the
Waddle
Heisman
from
winner,
Alabama.
so,
He's tipped to go high.
you know, I think that is the. It's always the I suppose the two biggest because they're the attacking.
Yeah,
They're the highlight reels, aren't they?
Yeah. I was going to say as well, I think the quarterbacks now actually is probably more of a negative. They're getting more throwaway. Like before, you would get your quarterback and you'd probably stick with them for quite a while. If you look back in the history of
build your
players,
franchise around
you build them around that, and they still do to this day build their team around that player. Don't get me wrong, but it seems to become more of a throwaway. Like you were seeing, like so Jared Goff went, Sam Darnold went. You know, these are guys that are getting picked.
Carson Wentz,
Even Cam Newton,
Cam Newton. These are guys that are getting picked first. Like not even that long ago,
yeah.
and it's like it's almost like you have 3 years to prove yourself.
If not, you're being
and
binned
try
off.
and win us, get us close to Super Bowl. If not, you're off,
We've
mate.
said this, haven't we, this year about Baker Mayfield? It's a big year for Baker. It's 4 years now since it's been drafted, and it's almost the impatience of fans of everyone, and
It's exciting. It's I think fans. There's nothing more exciting than drafting a quarterback top. You know, near the top because you think, oh, he's our saviour. Oh, holy, he's gonna fix it. But yeah, if they don't do it in a few years, then get another one.
But to answer the question, I think there's a big wide receiver run coming in.
Yeah,
Running backs, you know what? It's one of those where even when there are great running backs,
well, I've got
they're very ready
Travis Etienne from Clemson going picked to be the best running back in this draft.
I thought it said Michael Essien.
Michael Essien.
I nearly did. I nearly did.
That's like what a
Legend of the
what a
game.
legend of the game. It's weird as well. Like defensive players, you get
the odd one, but
they think they're only picked high. I mean, from my opinion, anyway, they're only picked high if they're needed. They're not.
Yeah.
They don't. Unfortunately, it's just not. They're not the fanfare position, are they? No, I mean, apart from obviously the defensive backs. Don't get me wrong. Like there was two in yours. But like your linemen and that kind of stuff, they don't get quite the same love, do they?
It's almost it's that age old kind of thing of rather than playing a game defensively, it's everything's pushed into
outscore the other team.
Yeah, we'll score more than you.
Yeah,
we'll do what we can to score more than you, and we'll put all of our races in to score more than you, which is good as a fan because it's more entertaining, I suppose. But
you can also appreciate like the Rams. Let's be real; they wouldn't have won as many games as they have done if they didn't have the good defense.
Aaron Donald's not.
Aaron Donald and a couple. Is it Jalen Ramsey they've got? He's a joke. They've got some caliber in the defense. Like, you can appreciate when you watch them as much as sometimes. I think the postseason. I think it was them, the Rams versus the Seahawks. I don't think it was exactly an exciting game. I think it was quite low scoring, but it was just a battle of the defenses. As much as it wasn't, like I say, the most exhilarating, get you off your seat game. Like you can appreciate a good defensive.
It's one of those where if you sit there and you appreciate the ground and pound and what's going on and the way they're actually performing, you can really understand what's going on. Yeah. But for a
low scoring game for a defensive player is what they want.
Yeah,
they've done their job.
Exactly.
Especially if you're shutting someone out.
I think the Super Bowl with the Rams and the Patriots was a bit like that from 2 years ago.
And it's one of those. It's a catch-22 because you want your team's defence to be strong and you want them to do that, but also you want to go and be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a difficult ball to balance. But yeah, I mean the next question, like only other question we have two, was who's your favourite NFL coach? No, we're not prepared for any of these questions because we just forgot about them. So, I mean, favourite NFL coach. I think it's going to come back to seeing what we saw last year as well. I think you almost got more of an insight, although it was only for a few hours and not even a lot per coach. at that draft, you got to see more of a coach
Yeah.
than you ever have
Personality
before.
Insight into their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, than you ever have before.
I think Bruce Arians looks awesome. I know he's just won Super Bowl, so there's a lot of news about him anyway. But
Yeah.
like the way he is, apparently, like when he was trying to get Juju Smith to Tampa Bay, he was just texting Juju Smith photos of a Lombardi Trophy. Like what a guy.
What a way.
I think if we get it, if I was to answer the question, I'd go up and coming. I say up and coming, like for the new season. Urban Meyer to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, he's extremely huge on Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, I do think this year that I don't think they're going to win it, but I think they will have a bit more of a breakthrough year. The Jacksonville Jaguars this year. I feel they've got a new head coach, new system going on. They've obviously got one of the best QBs in recent years coming their way. So I think all the signs are there for them. Whether it actually does happen, but yeah, I think he will be one to.
So I think I spoke about this guy before as well. Search up the new Detroit Lions head coach. He's a scary yet amazing man. I've only seen like a couple of interviews.
Yeah.
He's just like, I would not want to annoy him. Let's put it that way. But I would also want to have a beer with him. So
yeah, you scare me, but I want a beer.
That's my beer. You got any ones?
I'm intrigued to see how Arthur Smith gets on at the Falcons this year. New head coach coming in, but
coach.
I mean, just for the Hawaiian shirt, it's got to be Mr. Reed, isn't it? There was a great
that
shirt.
Hawaiian shirt was fantastic.
It was. I think it's something that I'm not going to forget.
I just want Bill Belichick's dog just to do the draft again. Honestly, it was that was the moment for me. It was when they panned to his room and he'd almost like left, like he wasn't interested, and just left his dog staring at the computer. So yeah, the dog's gonna pick up the next Tom Brady. But yeah, this draft, I think we were just talking about it a minute ago. We're gonna be obviously we're gonna be watching it as much as we can before we fall asleep. We'll probably be on FaceTime, whatever, with each other to do that. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll make it through the whole night. Probably won't, but
I'm going to give it my best shot.
We've all got the day off the next day, so it's worked out well.
Yeah, this is true, and it's going to be one of those where I think it'll be a shock the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got the potential to be one of those where every mock draft gets thrown out the window. It's got the potential to go the way that everyone sees it going as well, but I think there's such a, again, particularly quarterback wise, there is such a big field of solid and huge potential players that it could be anything.
It will be. Cool. I don't think there's much more we can. We've sort of rinsed out everything we can.
Mm-hmm. Just enjoy the draft, everyone.
Building up for this coming Thursday, late Thursday evening for us here. And
we actually made a change. We've not had a 2-hour long podcast. It's an hour.
Nice.
So it makes it too fair.
Hopefully, some of you can listen to this
Short
in one
and
go
sweet.
now rather than 3 or 4.
Most people have said, I like the bigger ones, but I've had to stop like halfway because it's very long.
So much knowledge and so much.
So yeah, we're gonna leave you, but we're gonna leave you with one thing, and that is from George.
I'll catch you all in the next one.
Oh, that's smooth.